I'm actually without words. To my colleagues, thank you beyond words. Thank you for that tour of the hairstyles. To Jerry Seib, Bob Myers, John Wolcott, a lot of colleagues. To Al and Judy, nothing could be more meaningful. How you arranged this, Jerry, I don't know, but to be honored along with Al, and by implication, Judy. A story that some may know is that there was a time back in April of 1981 when I was basically banned from the screens of NBC by the then president of NBC News. And there were a lot of reasons for that, but basically I messed up on a Today Show story, and who knows what else happened. And Judy Woodruff raised her hand, and she and John Palmer at the White House, our two White House correspondents, said, send her over to us. And I became the backup to John and Judy. And then they basically quietly, mostly without letting me know it, looked for ways to rehabilitate my career. Story by story, finding Today Show or weekend stories that they could pitch to the kid who had a lot left to prove. In so many ways, Judy and Al have been part of our lives. Al mentioned some of the most meaningful. I can't tell you what it does mean to my heart to be with you tonight. And Tom, in that video, mentioned the early years. And here, with the National Press Foundation and all of the great work you do in all of the media platforms around the world, I thought it'd be a useful reminder to talk about one of your antecedents, no longer with any connection to the Press Foundation since its founding in '75. But looking back, 40 years ago this very week, according to the Washington Post, a story written by Sally Quinn, the Jerry Rodas Trio serenaded 24 women onto the stage of the National Press Club to the tune of Thank Heaven for Little Girls. Those little girls included Frances Layton of the Philadelphia Inquirer and the inimitable Sarah McClendon. And they were among the first women, 24 of them, to become members of the old National Press Club. Before 1971, the biggest breakthrough for women reporters in this town had come in 1956, when Liz Carpenter finally forced the club to let women assigned to the story cover newsmaker luncheons at the press club from the balcony, where they often could not hear the speakers whom they were covering, were certainly not permitted to ask questions, but could at least look down at their male colleagues who were eating their lunch. At the time, I was a radio reporter in Philadelphia, covering a very controversial mayor. Scotty Reston's advice that newsmakers are always interesting, for good or for ill, certainly applied to Frank Rizzo. I was dreaming of covering my first national political convention, which I was able to do the next year in 1972 in Miami. Today, I'm living the dream, encouraged by an amazing news organization that through all of its many evolutions has enabled me to travel the world and witness history and work among legends of our profession for more than 32 years. None of this would be possible without NBC News President Steve Kappas, nightly news anchor and managing editor Brian Williams, and of course, before him, Tom Brokaw, Executive Vice President Alex Wallace. They have the vision and the commitment, and they've expanded NBC beyond the network to other platforms, becoming a leader in cable, and giving me the opportunity at MSNBC to have a daily program, and to work with so many colleagues from MSNBC, Phil Griffin and Megan Schaefer and Yvette Miley, and now to be able to work with our new colleagues and collaborators at Comcast, represented here, and this means so much to me, by David Cohen. And here tonight, my tenacious, unstinting executive producer, Jen Suazo, and the heart and soul of our little team, Michelle Perry. And here with us tonight, our bureau chief, Antoine Sanfuentes, and nightly news producer Albert Auchen, who lead us every day to greater achievements with my good friends and pals, my colleagues Savannah Guthrie and Chuck Todd and Pete Williams. And of course, rooting for me every day in every possible way, the most patient man, Alan. Through every adventure and every phone call saying, well, I've got a Today Show assignment, heat up some dinner, I'll be home sometime. Thank you all for this honor. It means more to me, as I say, than I can ever express. And to our most loyal viewers, and trust me on this, Steve Kappas, there are no two more loyal viewers of MSNBC and NBC News than Seal and Sid Mitchell, age 92 and 96. They notice everything. For many, many years, but far, far too few, my days would begin every day with that voice urging me on, saying, Mitch, what do you know? And he is a former winner of this very award back in 2004. So, Timmy, this one's for you. Thank you all so much.